Station 9 develops secret weapons program, covert research facility located near Welwyn. Design team assembles, Hugh Reeves leads. Focus on assassination, focus on silence. Welrod pistol proceeds. Integrally suppressed design. Bolt action operation, magazine forms grip. Sleeve gun follows. Welrod derivative concept. Grip removed entirely. External trigger altered. Weapon becomes tube, plain cylindrical body. Minimal external features, no exposed markings. Outer diameter modest, comparable to flashlight. Comparable to baton, concealable undergarments. Length kept short, shorter than Welrod. Optimized for sleeves. Forearm length matched. Steel chosen primary. Machinable alloy steel. Heat-treatable composition. Tensile strength sufficient. Tube bored centrally. Internal bore straight, chamber region reinforced. A muzzle section thinned. Barrel section inserted. Sleeve barrel ported. Ports bleed propellant. Gas vents forward. Expansion volume created. Suppressor volume surrounds. Baffle stack installed. Rubber wipes added. Baffles machined separately. Simple washer baffles, stacked within tube. Spacers control gaps. Wipes cut circular. Elastic rubber discs. Central aperture undersized. Projectile perforates wipes. Initial shots quietest. Subsequent shots louder. Wipes gradually erode. Service life limited. Ammunition subsonic specified. .32. ACP preferred. Standard Browning cartridge. Muzzle velocity reduced. Charge selection conservative. Pressure levels moderate. Barrel length optimized. Complete powder burn targeted. Chamber tolerances tight. Headspace carefully gauged. Throat polished slightly. Feeding reliability prioritized. And some versions single. Single round capacity. Manually loaded breech. Manual extraction necessary. Other versions magazine. Internal magazine hidden. Aligned beneath breech. Capacity kept minimal. Bolt travel shortened. Bolt handle omitted. Rear knob relocated. Cocking motion linear. Firing mechanism simplified. Striker spring compressed. Sear engagement positive. Safety margin minimal. No conventional trigger, no pivoting lever, no visible guard, no obvious pistol profile, muzzle button installed. Button actuates linkage. Linkage releases striker. Shot occurs immediately. Button resembles clothing. Button approximates fastener. Edges slightly rounded. Surface intentionally plain. Lanyard loop fitted. Cord passes sleeve. Weapon hangs vertically, weight supported discreetly. Offset stops integrated. Prevent downward migration. Forearm position maintained. Consistent indexing achieved. Exterior finish matte. Phosphate coating common. Paint sometimes added. Reflectivity kept minimal. Serials removed intentionally. Manufacturer marks absent. Caliber designations omitted. Origin deliberately obscured. Internal parts numbered. Assembly sequence controlled. Interchangeability limited somewhat. Hand fitting frequently required. Production batches small. BSSA participates manufacturing. Outside shops contribute. Toolroom resources utilized. Raw bar stock delivered. Steel bars cut. Pieces sized roughly. Ends faced square. Lathe operations commence. Outer diameter turned. Shoulders formed accurately. Critical lengths established. Bore drilled undersize. Reamer passes once. Surface finish improved. Dimensional consistency verified. Chamber reamer applied. A rim recess cut. Lead carefully formed. Burrs removed internally. Suppressor cavity bored. Front section hollowed. Baffle seats machined. Thread shoulders cut. Muzzle face machined. Contact surface dished. Concavity aid stability. Noise further reduced. Threads cut externally. End cap screws. Sealing gasket compressed. Gas leakage minimized. Baffles punched steel, central holes stamped. Periphery deburred mechanically. Flatness checked quickly. Wipes die-cut rubber. Sheet thickness standardized. Disc stacked alternating. Spacer rings interposed. Striker body turned. Firing pin integral. Tip radius specific. Hardness locally increased. Striker spring coiled. Music wire chosen. Coil count specified. Compressed length measured. Sear milled bar, engagement surfaces stoned, angles precisely maintained, trigger weight controlled, muzzle button forged, edges later machined, stem passes channel, return spring fitted, lanyard hardware stamped, flat stock used, loops then bent, ends resistance welded, surface treatment scheduled, all components degreased, submerged in phosphating, coating thickness monitored, final assembly bench. Technicians follow sheets, sub-assemblies grouped trays, mistakes logged centrally, barrel screwed receiver, torque wrench applied, witness marks aligned, Loctite unavailable then, baffles inserted sequence, wipes placed last, end cap tightened, unit pressure tested, firing mechanism installed, striker inserted channel, spring compressed partially, sear pinned rearward, muzzle button aligned, linkage rod fitted, play checked manually, smooth travel required, lanyard loop attached, cord length adjusted, standard jacket measured, forearm drop considered, each weapon, function, dry firing prohibited, snap caps utilized, sear engagement observed, proof testing conducted, over pressure rounds fired, pressure signs inspected, tube swelling checked, sound testing follows, indoor range reserved, microphone sometimes used, subjective judgment dominates, operators note impulse, recoil classified light, muzzle flash negligible, gas plume minimal, signature compared Welrod, noise level similar, sometimes slightly higher, still extremely discreet, accuracy testing constrained, no formal sights, no defined sightline, point shooting required, targets placed close, ranges 5 meters, sometimes 3 meters, contact shots emphasized, groups loosely measured, hand alignment inconsistent, sleeve position variable, shot dispersion accepted. Studs. Ergonomics considered problematic. Cylinder has no grip, no palm support, no thumb purchase, sleeve carry tested. Standard greatcoat worn, double-breasted examples. Civilian overcoats also. Weapon suspended inside, forearm slides beneath, button near cuff. Operator hand relaxed. Deployment drill developed. Operator spots target. Approach distance closes. Forearm aligns ribcage, hand drops casually. Fingers curl naturally. Cuff conceals muzzle. Button faces outward. Operator steps closer. Contact distance achieved. Cuff touches clothing. Pressure then applied. Button depressed firmly. Striker releases instantaneously. Projectile exits wipes. Sound stays localized. From outside perspective, movement appears ordinary. Arm angle typical. Impact source ambiguous. Extraction process awkward. Weapon still hanging. Sleeve opening narrow. Empty case retained. Single shot assumption. Escape prioritized immediately. Reloading considered secondary. Follow-up improbable. Manual recocking difficult. Forearm still threaded. Hand posture compromised. Lever access restricted. Trial reports highlight. Slow recovery times. Weapon reorientation clumsy. Risk of dropping. Clothing interaction problematic. Thick wool binds. Lining snag surfaces. Moisture adds friction. Cold weather layers. Multiple garments stacked. Cord lengths misjudged. Button location inconsistent. Sweating alters fit. Muscle bulk fluctuates. Seasonal tailoring changes. Performance unpredictable overall. Training programs adjusted. Issued only selectively. Advanced agents preferred. Prior firearms experience assumed. Drills emphasize repetition. Unloaded tube used. Sleeve presentations practiced. To mirror feedback employed. Instructors measure timing. Stopwatch readings collected. Average presentation sluggish. Compared with pocket revolvers. Conventional pistols drawn. Armpit holsters tested. Cross-draw rigs evaluated. Time differences obvious. Sleeve gun slower. Especially under stress, especially in crowds. Advantage purely concealment. Mechanical reliability adequate. Simple striker system. Few moving components. Low fouling levels. Suppressor maintenance demanding. Wipes deteriorate striage. Oils attack rubber. Solvents accelerate breakdown. Field replacement risky. Cap removal conspicuous. Baffles easily misplaced. Reassembly orientation critical. Logistics officers observe. Separate wipes packages. Humidity control problematic. Shelf life uncertain. Procurement notes circulated. Quantities capped early. Are no large orders. priority stayed Welrod, alternative devices proposed, shortened Welrod versions, detachable grip options, improved concealment holster trials, fake book housings, modified briefcase mounts, false plumbing enclosures. These solutions practical, standard pistol retained, manual of arms familiar, training burden reduced, sleeve gun remains, highly specialized instrument, single context weapon, very narrow application, some agents request, preference for minimal, no holster hardware, no printed instruction, others refuse issue, perceived as gimmick, handling considered unsafe, accidental discharge feared, testing board convenes, SOE staff attend, ordnance officers briefed, operational reports collated, report lists advantages, extremely discreet carriage, low acoustic signature, sanitized appearance maintained, report lists drawbacks, single-purpose employment, difficult to master, dangerous under pressure, recommendation becomes cautious, retention for niche, issue on request, no general distribution, archival paperwork redacted, weapon references minimized, catalog description euphemistic, term silent murder weapon, post-war evaluations limited, few examples survive, museum holdings documented, private collections tracked, surviving tubes inspected, wear patterns analyzed, springs still serviceable, wipes long perished, machining marks studied, tooling signatures evident, batch variations observable, experimental status confirmed, internal corrosion noted, cord attachment rusted, phosphate thinning visible, handling scratches widespread, historians infer deployment, likely urban operations, likely safe house, likely crowded venues. Examples include bars, street encounters probable, doorway meetings plausible, train corridor interactions, architecture favoured proximity, narrow stairwells prevalent, busy platforms noisy, witnesses easily confused, even SOE reconsidered, generalist tools preferred, sidearms with sights, sidearms with magazines, Station 9 shifts, resources reassigned gradually, other projects prioritised, submersible craft advanced, sleeve gun relegated, design files archived, training notes discarded, cord patterns forgotten, manufacturing jigs scrapped, specialised gauges removed, workforce reallocated elsewhere, machines repurposed peacetime, technical legacy persists, principles of suppression, integrally ported barrels, sanitized construction philosophy, contemporary engineers study, Welrod influence acknowledged, sleeve variant referenced, use case questioned, design illustrates extremes, concealment over ergonomics, silence over flexibility, specialization over versatility, from engineering perspective, problem definition narrow, operating envelope constrained, human factors underweighted, forearm anatomy varies, sleeve circumference varies, cuff stiffness varies, cord anchoring varies, these variables compound, affect aiming consistency, affect trigger reach, affect deployment speed. Later clandestine pistols incorporate these lessons, retain familiar grips, retain usable sights. However, core idea, weapon-hidden clothing carried inside garments remains periodically revisited, modern fiction exaggerates, spring-loaded mechanisms, automatic extension devices, complex wrist contraptions. An actual wartime device lacked such automation, relied on gravity, relied on practice as historical artifact. Sleeve gun demonstrates, full convergence factors, operational reality constraints, tool built purpose, purpose tightly circumscribed when context faded, tool effectively obsolete, yet technical records still show refinement, careful machining evidence, considered suppression engineering, every port location, every baffle spacing, every wipe thickness recorded by draftsmen, every cord length, every loop diameter, every button travel, documented for procurement. These documents reveal unemotional design choices, tabulated performance figures, marginalia about failures, misfires listed numerically, hangfires separately logged, light strikes identified, causes investigated methodically, solutions mostly incremental. To spring rate adjustments, sear surface finishing, cord material substitutions, even with improvements, operational assessment unchanged, device too specialized, device retained quietly. Thus sleeve gun remains silent artifact, metal tube explanation of wartime engineering.